Hello friends, today we are going to learn something related to admission of partner. Now understand, this admission of partner is covered at n numbers of places, say in 12th commerce, it is covered in CA foundation, it is covered in CS foundation. But normally when I see students, they normally mug up how to prepare the books of accounts. They know that we need to create a revaluation account and how to close the books of accounts and again start a new books of accounts. Is that all? But the problem is, when I ask this, what is revaluation account? None of them are able to answer me why revaluation account is prepared. Is it why it is necessary to revalue the asset? Say there is a fixed asset of 300 rupees. The market price of that asset is 300 crore rupees. Why it is necessary to revalue the assets? So in this lecture we'll be totally learning basics of admission of partner accountancy in a full-fledged and logical manner. So let us start with admission of partner. First thing that we need to understand is we need to prepare a revaluation account. Is it all right? Let me first draw revaluation account and then I'll explain you why this revaluation account is prepared. Is it all? You will be preparing an account which is termed as revaluation account. Let me also give you, this is a nominal account. So debit the losses and expenses, credit the incomes and gains. And so here the profits will be written or gains will be written and here expenses will be written. They are not actually expenses, but there is a nominal account. For understanding this will be perfect. Understand, I am taking an example of a partnership firm, say A, B and company. Who are the partners? A and B are partners. If A and B are partners, they are trying to admit, so new partner will be Mr. C. They were first sharing in the ratio of 1:1. Now they will be sharing in the ratio of 1:1:1. This is what is given. Now try to understand why it is necessary to revalue your assets and liabilities. But right now I am talking only about assets. Try to understand, the same logic can be applied in each cases, but let us try to understand from the point of view of asset. This is balance sheet of ABN company. Balance sheet only has one thing. On asset side, land and building of 300 rupees. A very small business, 300 rupees land and building. Is it all? Partner A, B, C. Sorry, A and B. Both are having 150 rupees and 150 rupees. The rupees are in not in crores, it is just in rupees. All right. This is the balance sheet of ABN company. Is it all right? Now suppose a C is admitted, A and B withdraws 50 rupees each, and C is admitted by bringing in, let me say C is admitted by bringing in 150 rupees. So C will bring 150 rupees and the new balance sheet will look like this. C 150 rupees capital. What will be added is cash and bank 150 rupees capital. Is it all right? If you will tally down the balance sheet, it will absolutely tally. But here there is a problem. Is it what C is bringing? Cash of 150 rupees. Is it all right? Here there is a problem and might be a big loss for A and B. Let me talk something about this land and building. This land and building is say purchased. See, land and building was purchased before 30 years and it was purchased at 1 lakh rupees. And now, after deducting depreciation for 30 years, the book value is 300 rupees. That's correct. All of you understand this 300 is a book value. But this land is right now having a market value of 300 lakhs rupees. That is 3 crore rupees. Sir, it is possible? Yes, absolutely it is possible. Is it correct? Now, if this figure was kept at 300 rupees, this is not lakhs, this is 300 rupees. What will happen? Try to understand. A and B will be at huge loss. Can you tell me this a profit of 1 lakh minus 300 lakhs, 299 lakhs belongs to A, B or belongs to A, B and C? It belongs to A and B only. Is it alright? Because these are the persons who have holded this land for the period of 30 years. But now what is the problem is, now see, after taking out 150 rupees, these are not lakhs rupees, after taking out 150 rupees, is becoming a co-owner of this land, is becoming co-owner of this land. Say this new partnership of ABC ran for 1 day. After 1 day it was dissolved and this land say cash was stolen. This I'm taking just to explain you why the revaluation should be there. Is it alright? The land and building was sold for 300 lakhs rupees. Is it alright? And there is no liabilities for the company. So this will be distributed between partners. But now partners are 3. A, B and C. How much A will get, B will get and C will get? A will get 100 lakhs rupees, B will get 100 lakhs rupees and C will get 100 lakhs rupees. How much money C has brought in yesterday, because this closed down in 1 day. Yesterday he has brought just 150, not lakhs, rupees. So what is the benefit of C in 1 day? 100 lakhs rupees minus 150 rupees. This is nothing but the benefit of X. It is 99,99,850 rupees. What C has done? Nothing. He was just admitted to the partnership. Is it alright? So understand, C is getting, by bringing in 150 rupees, he is becoming a co-owner of the asset of 300 lakhs rupees. This is 300 rupees, but the market value is 300 lakhs rupees. This asset, books of accounts values it at cost minus depreciation, but really he is becoming co-owner of the asset. In the case of dissolution of the firm, the asset will be sold and given to all the partners equally. So you need to understand that this is an undue benefit for C. Is it all? Sir, then what is the solution? Try to concentrate. Before admitting C as a partner, revalue your land and building. There is 300 rupees. I am revaluing to 300 lakhs. Upward revaluation of asset. Try to understand. What will be the journal entry? Asset is having which balance? Debit balance. If I want to increase that balance, I'll have to again debit the asset. Asset account debit, that is land and building account debit. How much money? I need to make it 300 lakhs, that is 3 crore. It is already rupees 300. So 300 lakhs, 300 lakhs minus 300, I need to reevaluate by 2 crore 99 lakh 99,700. 2 crore 99 lakh 99,700. Account debit 2. Have I purchased this asset? No, I have revalued this asset. If I have purchased this asset, I would have written cash. But I cannot write down cash because it was not purchased. It is just revalued. And so I will be using another account name, which is nothing but a revaluation 299,700. In revaluation account, it will go on credit side. In balance sheet, now this 300 rupees will become 300 lakhs rupees. Start it. So revaluation account, where it will be closed? This will be closed to old partners. Whatever is the profit is given to old partners. So now this 300 lakhs, believe me, after preparing all the accounts, if you don't admit Mr. C, then this will be 300 lakhs. This figures will be 150 lakhs. This figures will be 150 lakhs. Is it alright? Now, C wants to become a partner. He wants to become an equal partner. He can become an equal partner. But what will happen is this. If C brings in only 150 rupees, cash increase will be 150 rupees. But now if this asset is sold at 300 lakhs, Mr. A will be getting 150 lakhs, Mr. B will be getting 150 lakhs, but C will be getting only how much rupees is 150 rupees. Is it alright? Are you all understanding it? C is not getting undue advantage because this 300 lakhs asset was made by A and B. The benefit should be going to A and B only. Is it alright? Once again, explaining this in a perfect manner is, if the balance sheet is having an asset, let me take another number so that it becomes absolutely clear. Is it alright? Suppose it is having land and building of say 1 lakh rupees. Alright. Created by two partners A and B. Is it both are having a share of 50,000. If new partner is admitted by 50,000 rupees capital and he is an equal partner in the profits also, then he will become co-owner of this land and building. Now onwards he is the owner of this land and building. Is it alright? But this is the book value. What is the market value of this land and building is 20 lakhs. So what profit this land and building has already earned before admitting Mr. C as a partner? Before admitting Mr. C as a partner, it has already earned a profit of 19 lakhs. Yes, this profit will be actually earned when it is sold, but there is no intention of selling it. But this 19 lakhs rupees profit, just pause the video and try to understand, should it be given to A, B, or it should be given to A, B and C. If you will get it, it should be given only to A and B, because this asset before 30 years was purchased by A and B. They are the persons who have invested the money. They are the persons who have kept it for 30 years. C will be admitted as a new partner. So instead of showing this land and building at 1 lakh rupees in balance sheet, it will be shown at 20 lakhs rupees, and this 19 lakhs rupees will go to revaluation account, and ultimately this revaluation account profit will be transferred to old partners. Alright, and this is a logic why there should be a revaluation of asset and liability. Is it? See, if this is having a market value of 100 rupees only, then C will argue to reduce the value from 1 lakh to 100 rupees, because then C will be at loss. He will have to bring 50,000 rupees to become an equal partner, but he is not becoming partner in 1 lakh rupees asset, it is only 100 rupees asset. So whenever there is devaluation, Mr. C will say that you devalue the value of the asset. Whenever there is an upward revaluation, the old partners will convince the new partner that we will be doing revaluation of the assets. So this is the reason why there is a revaluation account. The benefit will be given to old partners, and when we will be learning further, the revaluation profit or loss is transferred always to old partners or existing partners, if you speak it correctly. Is it correct? So this is the reason for preparation of revaluation account, and this is actually the logic behind it. Is it correct? So now let us understand revaluation of assets and liabilities, and we will be passing simple journal entries for the same, and they will be extremely easy. Is it all right? So we are learning revaluation of assets and liabilities. We have understood the reason. Now we will be learning just the journal entry, and when we will be preparing final accounts, it will be extremely easy for us. Is it all right? Upward revaluation of asset. And of asset. Let me not write down in this much descriptive manner. This is upward revaluation of asset. Then we will be passing journal entry for downward revaluation. Let me change the color. Sorry. Let me first pass upward revaluation of asset. How to upward revalue the asset? You will have to debit the asset. It is already having a debit balance. If you debit it, then the balance will increase. Is it correct? So asset account debit. What you should credit? A creditor? No, because you don't need to pay anyone. Have you purchased it? Then bank or cash will be credited, but you have not actually purchased it, you are just revaluing it. So the credit entry will be given to revaluation. If there is downward revaluation of asset, then asset should be credited. What is the original balance? Debit. If you credit it, the balance will be reduced. It is as good as this. Is it correct? Say if the asset account is 100 rupees, you want to make it 80 rupees. This is a debit balance. Then you should credit asset by 20 rupees. Then the new balance will be 80 debit. Is it correct? So now the asset will be credited to asset account. What will be debited? Again, there is no account to debit it, and so what will be debited is revaluation account. That's correct. Now, upward revaluation of liability. What does this mean? This liability was not recorded in books of accounts, or liability was recorded at a lower value. If the liability is recorded at a lower value, the new partner coming in is going to take all liabilities of the company in co-partnership. Then the new partner will be at loss. So he will revalue the liability. Is it all right? How to revalue the liability? Now liability is having a credit balance, so liability will be credited. Say something having a debit balance, if you want to increase it, you should debit. If something is having debit balance, you want to decrease it, you should credit. If something is having credit balance, you want to increase it, you need to credit it. To liability, what will be debited is revaluation account, whatever is the amount. And last is decrease in liability. All right. Liability will be debited or credited. What balance liability is having? Credit. What you want to do? Decrease that. So you will debit it. Liability account debit to, there is no other account, so it will be revaluation. All right. This is nothing but revaluation of assets and liability, and believe me, all assets and liabilities are revalued at by this thing. Say asset of 10,000 rupees was forgotten to be recorded, now you need to record it, pass this entry. Is it a revaluation or recording what you have forgotten? Ultimately will be the same thing. Liability of 30,000 rupees was unrecorded, so I will be passing a journal entry, revaluation to liability. Is it all right? So this entry is passed when you want to revalue your assets and liabilities. Let us continue with last point, that is nothing but reserves. When you are admitting a partner, what to do about reserves or profit and loss on the liability side of balance sheet. This is balance sheet. Is that all? What to do about P&L, general reserve, any other general reserve which is there in balance sheet. Please understand, this all figures are profits, or when I write down profits, I should perfectly write down they are past profits. That's correct. And it belongs to existing partners, not a new partner. So if this balance sheet was of A, B and company, and now Mr. C is admitted as a partner, then this profit belongs to A and B only. Sir, what if we don't do anything about this reserve? Let us keep it over here. Let new partner come in. Is it alright? Then he will become co-owner of this profit. Whenever this profit is distributed, it will be given to him also. Is it all? So what is the best idea is, and what always you should do is distribute this reserve whenever there is an admission of the partner. Is it all? So distribute this reserve to the existing partners. How to distribute the reserve? This is having credit balance. Is it all? To distribute it, debit it. P&L account debit, general reserve account debit, other reserves account debit. All three will not be available, but whatever is available, debit it. Is it alright? And it will be given to old or existing partners in their P&L ratio. Whatever is their profit sharing ratio, it will be distributed in that manner. Is it alright? So this profit is credited to old partners. Whenever something is credited to the partners, that means you are giving that money to that particular partner. Not actually giving, but you are transferring that money to that partner, and later on he can withdraw this money from partnership firm. Is it all? So this you will be giving effect of profit and loss account, general reserve or any other reserve for not for particular purpose. You can distribute it among the old partners.